Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mr. BlubberButter, and today I'm going to show you how to break through the top of the Nether without using any ender pearls. Now, I originally learned this method from a YouTuber known as, TechnicallyCanadian, so all props to him. I'll have a link down to his video in the description so you can see where this is coming from. This is not my own. I did not come up with this. However, I did find some things that he did not mention, and of course he was doing this in version like 1.6. I really should have checked this out first. I apologize. I'm not meaning to say things that aren't true. I will check and have it in the description. Anyway, there are a couple of issues with this right now. I am playing this in 1.8.1. For anybody who's watching, it's only relevant to this. Things might have changed in the future, or if you're using an old version, it may or may not work. Anyway, so first things first, and I set a lot of this up, and I will unashamedly admit that I did do a lot of it in creative because I was saving time. But I have done this in survival. I have done it on a server, and I've done it on just my own world. So I know for a fact it works. I was kind of hoping I'd be done by the time I got up the ladder. Oh, hi pigs. So, normally you would use an ender pearl to get to the top. However, if you're like me, you either suck at ender pearls or it's just not very reliable and you can suffocate and die and lose an awful lot of equipment. Now, once you get to the top, there's a method in particular with dark oak saplings and a bunch of bone meal that can punch through the nether, and I'm not going to go into that. There are plenty of people who've shown you how to do that. The point of this is to get to the top. And you need a chest full of things because stuff is awesome. And you're going to need plenty of these. Probably not that many, but his video, I will show you what he said. Grab some of these so you can kill yourself when you get up to the top. In his video, you wanted to search around. When you get to the top, start digging around until you find an area that looked something like, yeah, it was this one. Something like this. Now, I'm not sure if in 1.8 it's not possible, but I have had a very, very hard time finding one. This is set up with creative mode. So maybe if you dig far enough, you can find something like this, or maybe in 1.8 it's not possible anymore. Anyway, his method was to find it so that when you stand on a block, you were at, your Y coordinate was 125. That's what this one is, and that'll work the best. And you need to have something like this, an L. So you'll want to block some of it off, but you need to have this like L opening. And what you need to do is set up a ladder on the far wall right here and set up 2 rails. So it goes like this. And then you set this right here, and this is all you need. Now, you'll need to set it up just right. So you'd set up something like this so it looks like that. And then it's pretty simple. You get in, you go toward the ladder as much as possible. You hold W forward and space to jump. And then when you're ready, you press shift, and you'll pop out on top like this. And it works. Yay! Now you're on top of the nether. Now you can do the thing with the dark oak saplings if you'd like. You can punch through the top of the nether, and that's totally fine. That's how that works. Now I'm going to go back and show you some of the problems I had. Just 1 second. Actually, I need to mention this. When I got on top using his method, I got stuck here because I didn't want to lose anything because I wasn't sure if it was going to work. So I put everything in a chest down at the bottom, and I highly recommend that you do have a chest at the bottom to hold materials so that you can come back and get them after you establish that it does in fact work. I was on a server, and I wasn't sure if like the server didn't want you getting on top or anything, if they have anything in place. So when I finally punched to the top, I was like, okay, awesome, that's great. But now nothing, and the server was one owned by a family member. So it ended up being okay, but I did not have anything here, and he had it set to easy. So you could not starve to death, and I didn't bring anything with me, so I was permanently stuck on top of the nether. I had to contact him to have him come up into the nether, come up on top of the nether so that I could kill him and take his stuff and build a huge block and kill myself. The killing him part was entirely unnecessary, but I felt like doing it at the time. It was kind of funny. My wife informs me that I should have recorded it, but I did not, so whatever. Anyway, so make sure if you do this, that if you don't have obsidian to make a return portal, at least bring something like this so you can leap off to your death. Yay. Okay, I am back. Now, that was his original video on what to do in his situation. Also, by the way, this thing always scoots back, and it is possible to jump through even if it is back here. It just might have a little more, and that'll go into the complications that I went into. I could not find something like that. The closest I could find was right here when I was at 124 on my y coordinates. So it is not without fault. For this, I came up with a method of the way I solved this, because I would go through and I would get stuck partially in between, and so I'd jump and I'd be stuck there and I'd start suffocating, and if I held space I can jump up and be stuck right at the top so I can see the top. I just couldn't punch all the way through, and sometimes that happens if you're too far back as well. Now I've tried to record this before and something happened and ended up not allowing, it ended up working on the first try. So if this works, I apologize. It's not supposed to work. I'm supposed to show you what happens if it doesn't work. Also, a lot of times, you will get stuck, like, oh, not that. That is not it. Like this. So you will have these openings, but you can't actually get through. This will be, bedrock. You can build it even if you can't get to the top. It just makes it a little more complicated for you in the immediate, but it does work. It does actually work. So I'm going to show you, once again, same setup, ladder on the far end, and then rails down below. There you go. You just have to jump and aim it just right, and it will eventually go through. It is difficult, but it does work. Now, if you get stuck occasionally at the top, or sometimes it doesn't all the way go through, you won't punch all the way through the nether. You'll be stuck partially in between. And the only way I found of getting through that is to lay down another set of rails and place another minecart. And the thing about minecarts is you can pull yourself through a whole bunch of objects, even lava, and get into the minecart without getting hurt. So hopefully this will actually not work and I will be able to show you. Same steps as before, hold W in space. Also, another thing to mention is while I got stuck there, that was another server that may have had something to do with someone not wanting you to be on top of the nether. I'm not actually sure. Yeah, see, it actually worked. Doesn't always work. Sometimes you're stuck partially in between, and what you need to do is lay down some rails while you're stuck in the in-between, bouncing up and down, and place that, and then jump into it, and that'll pull you through. So maybe it was simply a measure by the server, but in any case, this is something that plenty of people had problems with, including some family members who are trying to go through my portal, go through this method to get to the top themselves, and they could not. So place this here when you punch the top somewhere near where you came out, because it can save your butt someday if it doesn't work for whatever reason it might be. And that's how you get on top of the nether without using ender pearls. Because like I said, I suck at using ender pearls. I just suffocate in the wall. I have not been able to make it work. So maybe something I need to work on, but if you're looking for something like that, or in my case, on a server that did not have ender pearls because endermen didn't spawn, then this is a method to get out on top. Again, not my idea. This is somebody else's, Technically Canadian's. I really hope I'm saying the name right, not saying the wrong one. I really should have checked that out again, just to make sure. I have a link down in the description. Make sure you head over to his video and give it a like, because if you're watching this, I got it all from him. So, yeah, that's that. You all have a great day. And I'm Mr. BlubberButter. We'll see you later. Bye.